Hello everyone, can you hear me well? Okay, so I will wait for a second that my presentation is up. So I'm Hana. I'm a team lead of data science team at iOLAP. And today I want to show you what are the new offerings of AWS on machine learning and what levels of applications you can use. So please, my presentation. Okay, so Nick already mentioned a lot of the stuff I will be discussing today. So machine learning is an important topic. It's a new buzzword and trend. It's not just a buzzword. And okay, can I get the switcher? Okay, so we will start with the introduction, then cover basic some of the services, such as SageMaker, Transcribe, Translate, Comprehend. I'm not sure how many of you have ever used it. Anyone? Okay, so it will be more high level. So I just that you get some feeling how it should be used, since it's brand new and it's still in the developing phase. And AWS announced that they will, after this arrangement that is coming in November, they will add new features and stuff. Also, I will present you one use case of the sentiment analysis on one very interesting data set, and then we will finish with the wrap-up and some Q&A session. So let's start with the overview. Basically, this is the graph that represents machine learning services that the AWS is offering. So the lowest level are the frameworks and interfaces. So deep learning AMIs, they're coming pre-installed with the TensorFlow, Keras and stuff. So basically, I believe that anyone who is in the machine learning area tried one of those frameworks, but on AWS, they're a little bit optimized to work better. On the platform services, we will today discuss about SageMaker. This is the reason it's orange. So we will see how the process of the SageMaker works, and our sentiment analysis will be conducted with Transcribe, Translate, and Comprehend as showcase. So what is the SageMaker? SageMaker is a platform that is fully managed, and it got so for the beginning. What is the machine learning algorithms and steps? It goes in three steps. So first you need to train, and then you go, first you need to build, then you go to train, and then you go to the deploy phase. And it's really troublesome sometimes to conclude all those steps in a big circle, and SageMaker helps you how to conduct all these steps. So it comes with pre-built notebook instances. It's basically Jupyter Notebook, a little bit on the steroids. Also, you can choose between highly optimized machine learning algorithms. So on a SageMaker, you can pick algorithms that are already built, or as Nick Larson mentioned, you can use Docker containers to upload your code and then just train it on the SageMaker. Training those algorithms is very easy. AWS is trying to create these services that are scalable, clickable, and easy to go with. So I'm inviting you to get a free trial of it. I think for SageMaker it's 2 months. And one cool thing around SageMaker is that it's much easier to train and optimize your hyperparameters. So I'm not sure how many of you have ever tried to work with the optimization of the parameters, and are you aware how many of those exist? But it's really troublesome. It takes a long time. Usually you need to have one computer that will just train and not be used for anything else. Also, SageMaker helps you with deployment of the models. So it's fully managed hosting at scale. That means it takes care of the whole infrastructure that's behind, so you don't have to worry about how it will be deployed, how it will be checkups, and stuff. So, as I said, if you want to try SageMaker, you have like 3 months on Amazon, and I highly suggest it. Okay, so I will not bother you anymore with the details. We will go to the overview of the services that will be used in the use case. So Transcribe is a high-level API service that works with automatic speech recognition. You give it an audio-video file, and that it makes transcribe for you, right? Amazon Translate is a neural machine translation. It's a new service that translates text, right? And Amazon Comprehend is a service that helps you to find new insights from your text data. Let's begin with the Transcribe. Okay, so Transcribe, all of those services are very well integrated with the S3. What is good in Transcribe is that it can use audio or video files, MP3 or MP4 files, and it can make transcribes with very good punctuations, and it can identify multiple users. It will give timestamps for keywords that you're looking for. For example, imagine that you have a call center and you're recording audio file, but you will need some text from it, that you can do some text analysis of your customers. It's because it's much easier to analyze text than audio. And then you can do targeted advertising. You can see more insights from your customer, and you don't have to be data scientist to do that, since you have a service, right? Currently, Transcribe offers transcriptions only on English and Spanish, but they're saying that they will soon be showing having more languages in the to offer. Okay, so Translate, it's neural machine translation. It's very fast. Translations are very high quality, and also it's very affordable. For example, translating 5,000 of words or something like that is around less than 1 cent or 1 cent. So it's very cheap. Currently, it translates to 12 languages, and after the reinvent, they are saying that there will be more to 6 languages to translate. So in behind of the service is deep learning techniques. Deep learning it's learnable with the time, right? And it can take a content into account. For example, if you're identifying customer reviews, it can identify language, okay? And it will translate immediately on the language. Also, it offers real-time translations if you're chatting with so you're working in some customer office, and you got a customer who speaks, I don't know, Spanish, and you're not very good in Spanish, and you want to understand that person, you can have real-time translations. Also, of course, it's properly encrypted, so it's very secure to use with the different applications. Okay, Comprehend, it's a service, fully managed, and as I said, all those services are improving every day, coming better because they're learning how you use them, right? What you can do with Comprehend, you can discover sentiment of the text you're reading. you can discover multiple entities. So for example, that you're working with some lawyers' data, and you need to identify how many persons are mentioned and stuff. So you can find identities. Also, it will figure out multiple key phrases that are mentioned in the text. And it works with multiple languages. So you can get sentiment from, I don't know, Portuguese, Spanish, and different other languages. And of course, it will be more soon. Also, one cool thing about Comprehend is topic modeling. Let's say that you get multiple text files from different sources, and you want to classify them to each topic. You don't want to read all those files. You want to define category. Is it talking about, I don't know, market trends, or is it talking about real estate or stuff? You want to categorize it, and topic modeling can help you with that. So, fun part. Sentiment analysis on AWS. So, my first thought when I got the assignment that I should create something interesting to the conference was, okay, let's make it fun. And I wanted to see what is the sentiment. You know, I believe, so most of you men, you're watching soccer. I don't know anything about soccer, and I wanted to see how the other people reacted when Luka Modric got the FIFA award as a best world player. And his competitor was, first competitor was Ronaldo, like icon of the soccer. And for my expectation was that Portuguese news and Twitters will not be very objective, right? News should be objective and neutral. And my expectation was that news and tweets will have a little bit negative sentiment about Luka Modric, how he got the award and stuff. And after that thinking, I decided, okay, we can check the other countries, how other countries accepted the election. And finally, are the results of our research, are they influenced by semantics, sociological rules? Did we apply the technique properly, and stuff? So this is really simplified view of our approach. So first we collected news, Twitters, and YouTube videos about how Luka Modric won the award. We were storing that data on S3. We didn't do analysis real time, but we could do that also. And then for the Twitters and news articles, we firstly translated all to the English. And for the video, we made transcripts and then translated and then put on the Comprehend to calculate what is the sentiment of the articles. Also, we could do it differently, skip the translate and then just pull the data on the Comprehend because it's also possible. But we wanted to be sure that all the models, all the languages are translated equally, so that the sentiment we got is not influenced with the different kind of models behind. Okay. So first to be sure that the articles we are looking at discussing our wanted entity, Luka Modric, we wanted to check how many counts of that entity are showing up in the articles. So as you can see from this graph on English, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, that were our languages of the interest, Luka Modric and Cristiano Ronaldo were showing up around in the same percents, right? And that told us that they are discussing really that topic, not something else. We are investigating what is the sentiment of that news. Okay, so we calculated sentiment. First, we made average sentiment, and then sentiment per language. I removed neutral net sentiment from the analysis because, of course, those are news. neutral will be very high percent, and it will not show what is the important here when we comparing what is the positive, negative, and mixed sentiment. So, as you can see from the graph, Spanish little bit showed up above the average. So it showed up above the average, and for the negative, and for the positive. So, okay, there is something that is important, is something hidden in the Spanish news, not in the Portuguese news as I expected in my hypothesis. So, to get better feeling of the meaning of, and feeling about how people reacted, it's better to see tweets. So we decided to pick up all tweets that we couldn't find that have Luka Modric, and we counted how much they were talking and discussing about Luka Modric and the award. Okay, so Luka Modric was highly presented in our news, and with other entities, we were sure that we are collecting tweets that are really discussing the topic of Luka Modric winning the award. And then, so look at now what happened with the negative. Positive, okay, it looks like that Spanish are still very positive, but they're still in the average, okay? But negative is almost doubled than for the other languages, okay? So from this, we can conclude that Spanish didn't accept it very well that Luka Modric won the award. And then my colleague that is watching the soccer and is really a nice fan of it, explained me that Ronaldo was playing in Madrid for 7 years and that maybe Spanish people had some more preferences for Ronaldo than for Luka Modric. So Portuguese were neutral, mostly neutral. And then we tried to analyze the videos. So as I said, transcribe for now works only for English and Spanish. And what we got is nothing important about Luka Modric, but it's important to see one little difference here. As you can see here, Luka Modric is on both languages present in very small percentage. What is the reason? The reason is we cannot do completely the same analysis of the video and of the text, right? So when someone starts to speak about Luka Modric, and he will not mention his name multiple times, he will refer him as a he or something in some other way. The person will tell you, and it will be more contextual that you will understand that they're talking about that person. So videos we couldn't use for our conclusion because we don't have the same group of languages to compare. But this was just one small side note that we should be aware how to use those services differently. Okay, so to wrap up everything. My hypothesis was that Portuguese should have the most negative news and Twitter sentiment. Eventually, results show that Spanish had the most negative sentiment. So we were not sure, was it a semantic difference or sociological effect or something else. And this was just one small, simple showcase. Fun to do, a little bit talk about soccer and stuff. But imagine that person who had hypothesis wrong, like me, and was working in a marketing department and had to do the targeted marketing. And that I didn't do this research, and I would be targeting my assumptions wrong. Sentiment is really important because it shows how people react, how people what people feel about specific topic. When they feel something, they will buy things differently, they will react to commercials differently and stuff. This is one small example that shows how it's important to conduct your researchers and your assumptions to check. What I wanted to say for conclusion is we gone through some machine learning services overview. I showed you SageMaker, I showed you these services. So you can use machine learning as a data scientist through SageMaker. You can put your code in a Docker, you can use it pre-installed, you can create new stuff, or you can play around with other services as not data scientist, just to have something interesting as this. As Nick said, Amazon has for all services has free tiers, you can try it. And my question is for you is that you should think where and how and for what you can use those new services, use those new opportunities that AWS is offering. So thank you all for your attention. Please, do you have any questions? Okay.
Okay, so how is the sentiment actually counted or calculated?
Okay, so AWS will not ever discover completely how they design their learning algorithms behind, but it's coming from language processing theory. And for calculate the sentiment of some text, you will need to reach for a method that's called word embeddings. So it is how to classify words in each category, right? So word embedding can be conducted with the method that's called word2vec. You take corpus of text, then represent each word or phrase with a specific vector. And when we're talking about vectors, you have a vector space. So that means you can put each word will be shown as so the words that are coming together in a sentiment or category will be together in that space. For example, if you have a sentence, I would like to drink orange, and then you put a blank line, learning algorithms should be aware, should be learned properly to expect that you will put juice. I would like to drink orange juice, because orange and juice come together very often. So that's word2vec, and it's similar with the calculating the sentiment of the text. Do you have some other questions?
How are you dealing with attempts to manipulate the public opinion and fake accounts?
How to manipulate? Okay, yeah, it's a really interesting question. So how to manipulate public opinion? I mean, you can manipulate public with everything you want. So that's the reason you need to conduct the research, right? Correctly. People who are reading the newspapers should think from where those informations they're reading are coming from. So I believe with the rise of the machine learning, do you have?
They are coming from social networks.
Yeah. So I'm not.
So if they're coming from Twitter or Facebook or any other social network, you are taking them into account. Is that right?
So you were talking about this research, or?
No, I'm talking about fake Twitter accounts that are used to manipulate the public opinion.
So honestly, I don't have a real answer on your question. Last week I was on one conference, they were discussing that issue, since machine learning is coming more advanced and more fake news and more public manipulations will arise, right? So those are ethical questions, and we should discuss it more details. So honestly, I don't have an exact answer how to deal with that issue, but it's a really important topic, I believe. Is there anything else? No? Okay, then thank you very much for your attention and enjoy your day.